Targetex is the project funded by the European Commission. Our vision is to strengthen important economic sectors in Europe by integrating 5G and 6G and accelerating the digital transformation. Who are we looking for our project? We are looking for the SMEs, either individual entities or micro consortium composed of 2 SMEs. What is important? Your SME has to be registered, legally registered, so means established in the National Companies Register prior to the launch of the Target-X first open call, so before the 9th of May 2023. What do we offer? We offer the support up to 60,000 euro for approximately 50 entities in the 7-month support program. You will achieve up to TRL 7 during the support program, starting from TRL 3.4, which is preferred TRL, but this is not mandatory. And you will have the self-sustainable business framework and new market opportunities. What is important, if you are the for-profit company, the maximum grant amount is 70% of the eligible costs needed to execute the project, which means that you need to prepare the cost for the project, that 60,000 will be 70% of the money spent for this project. We're looking for companies, we're looking for SMEs who will submit the application in the main 4 verticals, which is manufacturing, energy, automotive, and construction. So what is important? We have the eligibility criteria, so the basic criteria to be able to apply to our project. So you will find them in our documents, but first of all, the application needs to be written in English language. It has to have European dimension. You have to be on time. You have to submit the application by our system. There is no conflict of interest with any of the consortium members. You accept the open call rules and many others, which you will find in the guide for applicants. And of course, your entity has to be established in the member states of the European Union and its overseas countries and territories, or associated countries to Horizon Europe. In our document, you will find the whole list of eligible countries. And very important thing, the United Kingdom still is not eligible to apply to the project. And support program, what do we offer in a support program? We offer you the fixed lump sum, so we don't need any accounting documents to prove the costs incurred, but we need the documentation to confirm that you achieve the milestone, you prepare the deliverables. Here you can see the list of deliverables and the payment milestones, so installments within the program. How to apply? A quick guide how to apply. So please sign up to Funding Box platform first of all to have your username. Then please go to the documents. In the documents you can find first of all guide for applicants. Most important document, you can find there the information how to apply and what is the evaluation process, and then support program procedures. The second most important document is the Annex 1 topics description, because you as the applicant, you can apply only within one of the 48 topics which you can find in this application. So it doesn't mean that you have any idea and you can apply with any idea, but you need to check this document and you need to apply to the specific topics within the verticals I previously mentioned. And here you've got the verticals, and this is the example of the topic description. The deadline of our open call is 26th of July at 5 p.m. But please don't wait until the last moment, because everything can happen. So please don't wait and try to apply and submit your application before the deadline, not 1 hour, but more. So we will really appreciate that. This is our website, targetxfunding.com. Here you can find all information, and here you can apply with the button apply now. If you put the button apply now, you will see start a new application, and then you can add a contributor, so the person who will help you prepare the application. And here you have all of the sections within the proposal. So we need some basic information and legal information, the information about the project. So very, very general info. If you see asterisks, it means that this is the mandatory to save. And then you can see the 3 sections which will be evaluated by the evaluator, which is excellence, impact, and implementation. Those 3 sections will be assessed by the evaluator. We have also not mandatory section, statistical section, and some ethics self-assessment, declaration of honor, and processing of personal data. So this is the GDPR clause. If you have any questions, you can use our help desk. This is our help desk. So if you go to IoT community, you can go there and ask the question. So everyone see the question, and you can use the help desk email, which you can see here. This is contact.targetx IPT and here also you can ask the question. You can also go to the general TargetX product website for more information. So not only about the open call, but how the whole projects look like. And you can join our social media button, LinkedIn, so you can see what's going on a daily basis. Here is our evaluation process. You can find it in the guide for applicants. From the submission of proposal, so when you submit the proposal, this is the way to go to the FSTP agreement signature and then to the support program completed. Okay, thank you very much. As I told before, if you have any questions, you can ask us by help desk, or ask me the question by this email or the general help desk email. And now let's start the Q&A session. So as I told before, you can use the chat or you can just ask by microphone.
Hi, hello.
Hello, Victor. Good morning.
Yeah, so I have a question after reading the guide of applicants. There's a point 3.2. I will paste the text also here in the questions, mostly about the IP of the project. The chat is disabled. Well, I can read it. So it said that the technology developed by the projects must be available in open source code and with interfaces for further reutilizations in the subsequent phase.
Yeah, so by coming to our project, of course, we need to have some results of your work, and it will be visible and accessed by the open call source. But of course, IP issue is always very important. We will have in the subgrant agreement the information about the IP, more information. So I think that next week on Monday, we will be ready with the draft of subgrant agreement. So then you can read it on the website. Moreover, if you personally, if you would like to be more specific on the IP issue, you can always have the additional contract with you and your mentor, the company you will work with within the TargetX. If you want to add something more than what will be in the subgrant agreement. So the results will be definitely in the open call source, but when it comes to the general IP, it will be to discuss between you and the mentor.
Okay, so meaning results in open source can be a report or some data resulting from the experiments that it's available on open source, right? But not the algorithms or the functions created there or the models created there.
Yeah, I know, Niels, are you here? Can you please confirm what exactly will be in that open source?
Yeah. So, yeah, open source is a large topic, of course. So the thing is, we need to make sure that when the open call project is finished and there is a result that the target X consortium wants to make use of, like using the results that we paid you for, we need to make sure that it's operational. So, and we cannot make sure that the open call participants will maintain the results and the software or whatever they may be. So that's a little bit where we need to find a solution, a sustainable solution. And so I would say if you describe how to make use of the results after the finishing of the open call, that would also be sufficient.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the purpose at the end is to develop a technology and productize it up to higher TRL levels, right? So it's to the final aim is to develop a product, and that product cannot be free if it's a company is creating it. So it's not open source in that sense, but a product that is sellable, and therefore the company must have the IP of it.
Yeah, sure. It's not about that we want to have the IP. So
yeah,
that's for sure.
Okay. I have another question related to the application also and the micro consortiums. And we have been collaborating with some universities, developing some technologies, and we would like them to participate also as a micro consortium. So I don't know if it, because the call is mostly for SMEs, and I don't know if it's a possibility to create a micro consortium with a university.
No, unfortunately, no. It's only for SMEs.
All right. Would the research technology office, like the transfer technology office of an university, count as a SME?
We need to have the status of SME. So when you go to the guide for applicants, you can also check what does it mean to be SME inside your document. And of course, you admit in the proposal that you are SME, but then we will have the formal check and our legal team will contact you to provide the documents if you are SME or not. So this is thoroughly checked.
All right.
Recording in progress.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
I have one, actually two questions, Anita. I don't know if I can go forward with that.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so my first question regards the funding. So you say that 70% is covered from for-profit companies. That means that if a company, for instance, presents an X-Space for the project that is higher than 85,000 euros, it will get 60.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. And it can apply with a greater value even than this. The only thing is that the cap that you have is 60,000 euros, right?
Yes, so 60 is per one entity. So if you apply as a micro consortium, then each entity will receive 60. So then you will in total receive 120. But if we are talking about for-profit, this is what exactly you said. So 60 is 70% of your total cost, which will be spent on this project.
Thank you, Anita. My second question regards the topics, the list of topics. I've been looking at the application form and I don't see any field, any specific field where you can fill in the title, specific title from your Annex 1. So where and what is the level of detail and conformity with the titles that you have in Annex 1, and how will this be accessed by the evaluation panel?
Okay, this is in the application form. Maybe I will go there and show you. Okay. Okay, so I will share my screen now. Okay, so when you go to the project, you can see the.
Oh, okay. I've just managed. Once you click on it, then you get a second field.
Then
Oh,
you get, for example, in energy, you've got the titles inside. If you go to automotive, then you go to the titles. Yeah.
okay. Some of these titles are very specific in terms of what is expected. So applications must target, I suppose, exactly what is said in these titles, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Anita. No further questions.
Hello, Anita.
Yes.
Hi there. Good, you can hear me. I have a question regarding the micro consortium. When it says it has to be one technology provider and one end user.
Yes. So it can
two,
be one technology provider and one end user, or two end users.
I understand, but my question is basically regarding the end user. For example, if you are developing an application that supports a human driver, the end user is a driver, like, you know.
Newt, can you please support us in the answer? It's more technical, I would say.
Or for example, I really want to. I'm really thinking about a micro consortium of us as a technology provider and a traffic management provider. But again, the end user is a driver, is the driver. So I'm finding it hard to fit into the pattern.
So if your technology contributes to the traffic management company's business, then they would then I understand them as the end user of your solution.
Oh, you would see, okay, you would see them as the end user. You see them as the end user and not the driver in the vehicle.
Yeah, or they could, let's say, they could be part of your value chain, or the customer journey, however you want to put it. But I think it's not about having single drivers as SME.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so it has to be it could be an entity within the value chain, basically.
Yes. So it's not about having two different technology providers. It's more the one who provides the technology and the one who, let's say, consumes it in a way that he makes use of the data coming from your solution or using your solution for the end customer. Yeah, so it's not that strict. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I was trying to figure it out, how to build it. Okay, thanks.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you. I see one more hand raised, but I don't know if I spell it correctly. Shivinka?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. As a follow-up question to our previous colleague, two topics, for example, from different sectors are very, very close related. Can the proposal target both of them?
Only one topic is you are able to choose only one topic. I suppose that you can, of course, inside the application, give some explanation that you apply for this one topic, but you are also close to another. But in general, then you will be assessed in this topic which you provide, which you chose.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
Yeah. However, if your it seems like the impact of your solution might be larger than for just one topic, so that would be beneficial, I think, from the review point of view, because then
All
the
right.
impact might be a little bit better. Yeah.
Thank you.
Johannes, yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I have a question going back to the IP question we have been discussing before. Would it be fair enough to say that if we develop a solution that connects to the customer through an API, or possibly has an option to connect to our solution via an API, would it be fair enough to say that we need to publish the API, but not the legal entities like software, hardware, algorithms, models that are lying behind this API?
Yeah, Niels, can you confirm?
Yeah, I think that I think API was somewhere mentioned, but I don't recall. Aneta, I think we had API somewhere in some of our documents. So, but I would agree, yes. So, yeah, we need to have, potentially we would need to make access as the potential user of the software, and that could happen via an API.
Yeah, I think that is a good solution, and it wouldn't be a problem for us to really show you in detail what we have done and give you access to it after an NDA or something, but we do not want to really open everything up to the open source community, and that's understandable, I think.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have two questions on the chat. The first one is there a specific list of acceptable costs and ratio amount for each personal hardware, other goods and services? We have such a list, but this is not very specific because we don't want to tell you that you have to spend this amount of money on this, and you can find it in the frequently asked questions, but this is about rather eligible costs, but not the amount for each one. Only we have some limitation when it comes to the subcontracting, because we want that you will make it, not that you subcontract the company. So there is some limitation. In relation to subcontracting, what is important, the core activities must be done by you, but if you want to subcontract for some smaller things, then it's okay. So you can find it in the frequently asked question. This is the question about eligible cost. And what if two SMEs have the same owners, CEOs? Can they apply separately? Separate application as tech providers. They can apply, but both of them cannot be funded. So then we will choose the better one during the evaluation. So you can apply, but you will be not funded twice. I see from Christian I see only questions, so there is no question inside. So Christian, can you please? Okay. Niels, do you see this question in the chat? I think that you can answer this question.
So there's I think Christian has sent a question then after it.
Yeah, there is a question on the chat by Christian. We would like to
Okay.
build a project related to production using 5G, 6G. Would our clients' whereabouts be protected? Do we have an already written NDA?
I'm not sure about clients' whereabouts.
Yeah, Christian, can you please specify your question?
So I understand that the clients would not be involved in this project.
Christian, are you here? Please unmute yourself because you're muted. Now I see you are unmuted, but we cannot hear you. Or maybe specify the question in the chat. Okay, so I will read one more question from Daniela. Will one more call be open in the future? If yes, when approximately? Yes, there will be the second open call. We predict it for the November 2023, so at the end of the year. Christian wrote, I mean, our client's infrastructure cannot be revealed. You mean revealed in the open source, right? So Niels, if you confirm, I think that, yeah, client's infrastructure will not be revealed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not sure if I get it completely. So unless you are making use of a 5G infrastructure on your client side, then I would say you would not have to reveal the client. Of course, we would expect some information, technical information about the 5G or the 6G, 5G part. If the client just provides the production infrastructure to be tested with your solution, so not delivering the 5G part from the client side, then yeah, well, I'm having a little bit difficult to imagine why we would need to know the client, the identity of the client. So and the client would also not be part of the project because it's not funded unless you are applying as a micro consortium, but then the client would also need to be an SME. So if your project can be carried out without revealing the client, then I think it's fine. Yeah. But the other question, we do not have we do not have an NDA.
Yeah, so Christian, if you want to add something, please write it in the chat. I will read now the other questions. If we apply as a consortium, is it right that both companies have to fill out the application form? No, it means that there is a leader of the micro consortium who will fill in the application form, and this entity will also receive the money on their account, and then they will transfer to the other SMEs. And of course, if the leader of the micro consortium will ask other SMEs to support in preparing the application form, as I shown before, you have the button add a contributor, and then you can add contributors. But the application form is submitted only by the consortium leader. So you don't need to fill the application form twice. And Danny, in terms of understanding whether a proposed activity fits within the scope, could I ask whether harnessing pre-existing AI-based capabilities, anomaly detection on pictures for cybersecurity purposes, i.e. detecting anomalies in data transmission behavior activity, is in line with the Project X, Target X requirements. So Niels, can you please answer this question?
I need to search this kind of topic somewhere in the list of the 48 topics.
Topics, yeah.
I'm not sure if we have that. Let me quickly check.
Yeah, title topic 47. So I'm wondering whether, I mean, it's quite broad, the description. So just trying to narrow close in on the understanding as to whether the proposal might be in line with the project requirements.
So in the meantime, I will read another question, and Niels, please check it out. So Victor asked if this is mandatory to do a final demonstration on the premises of the challenge partner, and in that case, are costs associated to that demonstration, transportation of vehicles, hardware team included in the 60K funding, or can be asked separately. So this is not mandatory to make it on premises of the challenge partner, and it cannot be asked separately as additional funding. So if you really want to do that, you need to take the costs on yourself, but this is not mandatory. Okay. I suppose Niels is checking the topics. Do we have any other more questions? Okay, and Niels said that this is in line with topic 47. Erdis is asking, is it mandatory to bring our equipment on the test bed in A10? I don't know, Niels, can you please reply this? I don't think so, but maybe you have more knowledge on that. Do they need to bring their equipment to the test bed?
Yeah, depends. So if you are building a completely new 5G device, which nobody else has, then of course you have to bring it. So what we can provide is connectivity to our 5G networks. That means we can provide SIM cards and also establish the routing to any target computer where you need to evaluate the data being sent, for example. Then you have to bring that. If you build up software which makes use of data being transmitted, for instance, well, topic 47, like cybersecurity and anomaly detection, then of course you do not need to to bring 5G devices, but if you want to generate traffic, the data traffic with anomalies that you inject to validate your solution, then of course you also have to bring it.
Okay, I will answer the next question.
Terrific. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it required to reach TRL 7 by the end of the project? So in general, we know that if you are TRL 3, then going to TRL 7, it's probably not possible, but it really depends on the topic, I would say. So in general, we will try to reach the TRL 7 or TRL 6 by the end of the project. However, it really depends on the vertical, on the topic, and of course your current TRL. So if the selection committee will see you as a very promising project, then it doesn't need to be the TRL 7 at the end. But if this is promising, it can be lower.
Anita, there was one question from Daniela Zavek about a potential future open call.
Yeah,
So
I already replied.
sorry.
That's at the end of the year in November. Yes.
Yeah, so then I missed it. Sorry.
Yeah, for example, topic 6, it says testing in lab environment. Yeah, so as I said before, it really depends on the topic and it really depends on the vertical. So in some topics you need to reach TRL 7, in some not. So yeah, everything is in the topic description and scope.
Yeah, you can always ask these kind of special questions on your requirements for your project idea, and let's say the technical questions, you can address them to the contact mail address Anita has shown.
Hey, do we have any more questions?
Yes, please. I have a specific question for title 19 when it comes to automotive. It needs to be a comparison between edge and public internet deployed services. And I was wondering, do I need to do the performance tests on one of the project test fields, or I can do it independent?
Niels, can you please?
I'm not sure if Jad is also in the call today.
Sorry?
Yeah, one of our project partners, I'm asking if he's in the call here.
Oh, okay.
Jad?
Yeah, this partner is responsible for automotive, so that's
Yeah.
why we are checking if he's here. But if not, can you please send this email to the this general email which I shown? I will show it once again now, or to myself or at the help desk. So we will show these questions to the automotive partner.
Where do you? What is the email? What is the email?
I will show once again. So one moment, okay?
Okay.
Okay, here it is. You can use either mine or the general contact TargetX.
Just a second. Laptop on the Okay,
Thank you.
will do. Thanks.
Okay. Let me check if we have more questions. Okay, I see also the question about topic 10. So maybe I will also ask you to send this question, because if you ask about specific topic, we need to send it to the specific person who is responsible for preparation of this topic.
Yeah, I I can ask, can answer it. So
Okay, great.
so the focus is really on the digital twin and the establishing of the asset administration shell for it. So if you want to, you have to develop a physical sensor to validate it, to validate your AAS. then yes, you can do it, but of course it's still the same budget. If you say I take an off-the-shelf sensor and I do not develop it on my own, then it's also in line with the topic. So the focus here is really on programming the AAS. We can wait. Well, that's the tool basically to orchestrate the AASs. That's topic 10. Asset management tool. So, and the asset administration shells are then for the single assets. And here in title 10, in topic 10, it says the assets for asset administration shells for machines and sensors. Yeah, so we would expect that typically this kind of equipment is already there. So you would not build a machine within the open code project just to program the asset administration shell for it. Yes, topic 12 is hardware. Exactly. So you see the selection of topics has, let's say, everything in prepared for any interests from you regarding the sensors and digital twins and orchestration. So it's good selection, I think.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
I have one more question.
Yes.
Concerning, well, there are other titles with this, but concerning title 27, where it says that, which is the automated ambulance, it says that EDIADA will provide the communication infrastructure. Okay, does this mean that the project mandatorily has to be tested in the EDIADA facilities in Barcelona, or can we test it with the 5G networks, our national 5G networks of each participating country of the company?
I would say you could also demonstrate it with other networks, but there should be, let's say, equal to what we have at EDIADA. So EDIADA is a closed testbed, and they are being served by different generations of cellular technology. I mean, you could also demonstrate it at the 5G Industry Campus Europe if it's easier for you, because it's also a private 5G network. It's just that we do not have any test tracks. But also here it says that the other will only provide the communication infrastructure and not having the connected ambulance run on the test track.
So in this case, let me get it clear. So we could test the project in our 5G networks, the national 5G networks provided by our telcos, right?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, an ambulance is basically, I think, a question for a public network.
Yeah.
Though in some countries they are thinking about separate spectrum for the blue light area. So
Yeah,
that would basically mean a public network with guaranteed priorities.
Yeah.
So if you could resemble this kind, then it's of course yeah, even better.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we will try, but then it will have to involve a telco as well.
Yes, if you have a good connection with your telco, then maybe they're interested. But as mentioned, you're of course invited also to test it either at DIADA or 5G Industry Campus, because we have private network, and for this kind of trials, we can make you the only user of the complete network. So to make it sure that you have your own network.
Right, I understand, but bringing an ambulance and all the medical devices that we have on site would not be that easy.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah.
Thank you.
But maybe you do not need the whole ambulance. I mean, what kind of devices you want to connect? That maybe involves just a selection of the equipment.
Yeah, but some of the devices, actually, most of these devices are attached to the ambulance. I don't think it would be easy to remove them from the ambulance.
Understood. Yeah, then it makes sense to use your infrastructure that makes the most sense. Yeah, just describe it in in the application so that the reviewers understand the reasons for you to use it with your national operator. Yeah, so that they do not say that you have to use IDIADA. Just provide the reasons why not to use it.
Okay, thank you very much for clarification.
Do we have any more questions? Let's wait 1 more minute. If not, we will close the meeting. But please remember that you can always use our help desk or emails to ask specific questions, especially those specific when we have dedicated person to the specific topic. So feel free to ask. Okay, I suppose we don't have more questions. So I would like to thank you very much for today's meeting and all of your questions. I hope that it will clear a little bit, and then you can submit your application. As I said before, we are here to support you in preparation, so feel free to ask us questions. Yeah, and we will let you know about the result after the each evaluation step. So thank you very much for today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.